So your tears been running like a waterfall. Thought the stars would never let you down. And you keep on thinking you could save yourself, but that's love, that's just love. You should know some things will hurt, and you'll end up getting burned. I just hope that you will learn. That's just love, that's just love. You will get back up again, even if you don't know when. And it feels like the world is coming down on you. You have to move on, deal with your broken heart. No matter what you think, you'll never ever get enough of love. Every time you feel the walls are closing in, and it seems like nothing makes it better, you should try to remember that's just how it is when it comes to love, comes to love. 'Cause you know sometimes it hurts, and you end up getting burned. But sometimes it can be beautiful. That's just love, that's just love. You will get ever get enough of love. You have to move on. Deal with your broken heart. You have to move on. Deal with your broken heart. No matter what you think, you'll never ever get enough of love. Even if you don't know it. Deal with your broken heart. No matter what you think, you'll never ever get enough of love.
Read my eyes, do I want to stay? If you thought you weren't made that way, it's the
Check. 1 2 1 2. Bang. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. If you're getting discouraged, if you're getting freaked out, if you're getting in your head, remember, time will pass so fast. Before you know it, I was 24 years old. Now I'm 40 years old. Before you know it, click, the years go by, and you'll win some, you'll lose some, you'll be up, you'll be down, but at the end of the day, it's about how you feel about your life. Breathe in the fresh air, realize you have so much to give and so much to connect with on this earth. God bless you all. Today, it's not going to be the lemon water, it's a little bit of coffee. I don't drink coffee much, but when I do, I get a little crazy. Get those polyphenols, right? Oh, a little bit of, it actually tastes pretty good. A little bit of coffee in the morning for me. Well, I don't know, I'm changing it up today, just changing it up. I still got the lemon water in the front here, but it's coffee, right? It's insane. We're already pretty much halfway through 2023. Good times ahead. We just started. R.I.P. Jimmy Price. Shout out to Cesar Cordero. God bless you, man. Thank you for saying that. Shout out to anyone representing my pops. Took a walk around the old neighborhood this morning. I didn't work out. I just took a long walk, which is technically a workout, but I just took a long walk around the neighborhood, kind of see what was happening, see what was going down, breathe in the fresh air, smell the flowers. The flowers smelled great. The air smelled amazing. The fresh cut grass. Just so many reasons. The things that I love about spring, man, are the smells, really. I realize how much I love the smells. You don't get the smells in the winter. In the cold winter, you smell chimneys, right? So shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let's take a look at what's happening in the markets. We talked about Heinz in 4 back here at about May 25th, and this thing popped for 18% gains. So what a nice move to the upside. We talked about FRA yesterday on the channel, right? Which is Findora, if I got this correctly. Findora on KuCoin. Massive gains for Findora. I put this out just yesterday, and you can see in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 20 hours, 28 hours, this thing is blasting to the upside. FRA, Findora. Nice gains for Findora, and we saw it in this channel like so. Bang, bang, bang. If you're in the trading group, you just might have been able to catch this gain or been able to see what was going down, right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in. And I believe we showed this on the live stream too as well, but completely up to you, whatever makes you happy. But this thing blasted. Total gains right now at about 36%, holding the zone. So another nice move for Findora. We talked about injective protocol. It was my weekly trade. I really liked it. It looks strong. Number one, it's in its own kind of bull run idea, right? It was in a 3-day cup and handle that I'd been watching for a while, and I was waiting for a break to the upside. The 3-day was very low. MACD was turning. All the bells and whistles for what I look for, and this thing is up 28% gains, injective protocol, in just 6 days, a little under 6 days, actually. What a beautiful move for injective protocol. And looks like there's more coming, like it's just getting started. So just want to bring out the gains in the trading group before we even started. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. If you want gains like this, if you want to change your life, jump into the trading group today, and I will teach you more than you would ever thought humanly possible. You can then kind of expand, go as far as you want, but I'll be able to give you the basis and the fundamentals to continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to figure out what's happening in these markets. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time on this sunny, beautiful June 2nd. A month now since my father has passed. So crazy how time has flown. You know, soon I'll pass, and then I'll be a relic and a memory in everybody's mind, right? So here's the pinned message. If you want to join MEXC or join my trading group, those are the two things that we're using almost all the time, and KuCoin. Jumping into KuCoin, it will change your life too as well. Those two exchanges, MEXC and KuCoin, are amazing. The greatest tragedy in death is being forgotten. I know for sure Jimmy Price will never be forgotten to you and your family. I think about him every single day, every single minute of the day. I probably thought about him all morning long, except for what I did to look into the charts. So my dad's been in my thoughts and in my heart and in my mind ever since I saw him there lying on the gurney, man. I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. You want to be able to pick up that phone and say hi. You want to hear one more story from the old times. He used to tell me about the 60s and the 70s and the old cars and all the cars that he smashed up and all the things that he did. And I mean, he lived a fruitful life. He went all over the country. He traveled to almost every state in the United States. You know, he only went to Europe a few times. He didn't leave the United States a lot, and he liked where he was. He liked being where he was. He really did. That's my pops, you know. So we're going to take a look. This 15-minute looked like it could get a bit of a move. We were low on the stochastics, but it pushed up and just couldn't get back above the zone. As you can see, it made a bit of a shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. This morning, I had this up, and it wicked up and down. Look at the nasty wickage. What's happening is Bitcoin is getting a little more scarce on the exchanges. More and more people are knowing that Bitcoin's got a halving coming up. And people are buying it up. And when they buy it up, I watch the market makers try to get more savvy with the volume because there's just less Bitcoin out there. We talked about this being the top of the channel, bottom of the channel, top of the channel, and that we probably likely could get rejected if this 15-minute flag didn't play out. And now I'm just showing you the measured moves. These aren't saying guaranteed to go up, but I'm saying this is the measured move. If the 15-minute could have bailed us out, there would look like there could likelihood be a bit of a move, but we got rejected by that resistance. Major resistance for Bitcoin, as you can clearly see. And if you're going to continue, you want to look for a bull flag or a bear flag. And right here, I mean, to me, that's a bit of a bearish flag that could continue to the downside. So I'd still be looking for more downside. Remember, yesterday we called a short on the market, and the short played out pretty nicely on the bigger time frames. Took its beating, right? So we'll show you kind of what happened here on the short. If you remember correctly, we were showing this. Let's see, the 1 hour rising wedge here. This was my short right here, right? And the length of the pole suggested that we could go pretty far to the downside here. We got very close to my target within 80 bucks. That short did play out. Then we got a careening move back to the upside. Honestly, this is chop. You know what I mean? To me, this is Bitcoin chop. Like, until Bitcoin can break back above this zone, use it as a retest, I would not long it. I just would not long it. You know, that's why even today was an observation move on the 15-minute. Could the 15-minute break us out and give us that move back above this high volume node on the VRVP? What is the VRVP? It shows you where the volume is on the right side of the screen, kind of suggesting that, hey, these are the places that Bitcoin's going to likely stop, and these are the places where Bitcoin's going to flow right through based on liquidity on the order book. So, yeah. I'm just going to get BOOKMAP up and running for you too as well, so we can see the liquidity on either side. When you join the 99 Lifer Trading Group for $99, you can then receive the Lifer Vision Trading Course for $60. Learn the language of the charts and achieve your dreams. Email cryptolifers@gmail. Have you been to EU or UK? I've been to the EU, but it was a long time ago. I went to a few times. I've been to Italy, Cortina, and I skied the Alps or snowboarded the Alps back in, I'm talking 1999, something like that, long time ago. And then, let's say when I was like 25, I went to Spain with my mom, my dad. My sister was already living there, and so we came to visit her for like a 2-week break. I believe I was in college because we had like longer time. I remember being there for 2 weeks, and yeah, I was like 23 or I think even 21 years old. I believe that's the last time I went to Europe 19 years ago. So it's been a long time since I've been to Europe or any off of the States. States have so many places to go. Miami, right? Las Vegas. Like, there's so many traveling. I've been do so much traveling in the United States alone, but I wouldn't mind doing some, going abroad, as they say. So we see liquidity at 26,600. Again, there's our buy wall. Not a lot of zones in either way. Still kind of really not showing us a lot on the order book as well. There's a big fat order there at 26.6. That's just the one thing we're going to look at for the day. So nothing crazy. It suggests that Bitcoin is really likely going to go down, though, to the downside at 26.6. Whereas our level to watch is right here at 26,600. That coincides exactly with the order block that we got setted right there on BOOKMAP. You can see 26.6 is the biggest order we can see right now, kind of hanging out, and that would be the lowest part of this area on the chart, back into the lower part of the channel. So Bitcoin's been basically very interesting to trade, up and down, right? But got a nasty dump to the downside this morning on lower liquidity. Then we're going to watch this flag on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute time frame, and it is just shoulder, head, and a shoulder, I guess, but to me it looks more like a bear flag in my humble opinion, and I see us moving further to the downside if I had to pick a direction. It's looking like Bitcoin will get rejected. Could come up and bearishly retest like it did yesterday, the bearish retest, and then further fall to the downside. We looked at the bigger picture and the smaller picture for the last few days, looked at the monthly candle close. We've been breaking it down for you. And, I have some, if and buts kind of ideas here for Bitcoin. So, and that's how trading is. Trading is, I know exactly what's going to happen. No, it doesn't work like that. Trading is more like, I will trade whatever I see happening. You know what I mean? And if I see something on the book that, shows me that there's more likelihood of a breakdown, then I'm going to trade the probability. That's all trading is. It's probability. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. So you look here at the all-time history index for Bitcoin, and we showed you this weekly chart that I've been talking about for days now, and we're playing games for sure. As long as we can stay above the 200 SMA here on the weekly, we are still bullish, and we've reset pretty nicely on the stochastics RSI. Not all the way. I still see some downside still could come from this, but this is that cup and handle that I've been showing and talking about for a while now. Like, basically, I even projected this when we even just had the cup, and I said there's possibly we get a handle back to the downside. The fact that we have not retested 25,200 is hilarious. We've been battling the zone over and over again, and we seem to keep getting bought up. People keep front running the 25,200 area. Actually, I've even talked about the fact that the weekly makes this next retracement area of 24,400, 24,000, between 24,350 and 24,500. It's a zone. See, resistance. So while everyone's focused on 25 too, don't be surprised if we dip down to 24 and that ends up being our weekly support. But right now, as long as we stay above this yellow line, this 200 SMA on the weekly, there's a higher probability we make a move to the upside. I'm going to stay on that and keep showing you that the second a weekly candle closes below this yellow line, I will change my tune. All right. So you have to have, to me, that's like the definition of like good trading. Years of good trading have put me to the idea that if this happens, I do this. If that happens, I do that. Right. And we called this long, which pumped up really nicely, gave back most of its gains already. Had we taken profits at resistance, it would have been in the money. And so far, the short at 28,300 is really the king short that's still kind of winning here to the upside. It's still got the gains. And, I basically believe that the short will continue to the downside. I'm going to watch this 1 minute time frame, but the 1 minute suggests kind of a shoulder head and a shoulder there that we're likely to continue to dump to the downside. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. We'll see what happens here. Do we see a strong bullish divergence? We kind of see a bullish divergence here on the 1 minute time frame, right here like so. That tells us that could be our local bottom if we try to fight through the zone here. But right now, I'm more bearish than bullish based on what the charts are conveying, And now you have another level of resistance that you have to get back above to remain bullish. And that's 26,991, 27K really. We lose it again, 27,000. So the battle around 27K continues for Bitcoin. Low liquidity Friday on the summer. Summer Fridays are usually pretty slow. But I see a move to the downside for Bitcoin to 26.6. is what I'm looking at. And already we started a bit of a downtrend since I started the live stream in the last 5 minutes. Bitcoin is already down about 0.23% on 10x leverage. You're talking a 2% gain like that. So anyway, we went over some of the wins that we've made already. 28%, Fedora for 38%, and continuing to the upside. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And Heinz and 4 banging on them. Injective banging on them. Hayazuki also getting gains of 33.33%, put out in the cup and handle by the elite. Nailed it for 33% gains. High Undead for 13% gains out of that flat ascending triangle top there. True for 13%. HIRENGA, which I put out in this cup and handle, booming to the upside. It looks like it actually may have a little more. We'll take a look at that in a second. And MEXC token up about 11% too as well in the last few days. So still pushing out gains out of the trading group. We're going to continue to push. The whole world cannot pay attention. We will continue to push every single day because that's how it is. All we have is this life. All we have is the moment. All we have is this moment right now. We can't think about the past as much. We can't think about the future too much. We can build the future in the present moment. That's how we get ahead. That's the key. Ooh, feeling that caffeine. Wow, this is why you guys like coffee, huh? Wow. I don't drink coffee ever. Like I do for fun on the weekends or something, but I usually have a decaf. I don't go hard. How's the chat, people, today? Shout out to John Thomas. I met John Thomas yesterday He paid for a half an hour one-on-one with me to introduce himself and just to talk about his life and kind of break down how I helped him, all the different things he's seen in the trading group. And God bless you, John. That meant the world to me. A lot of people think that's just whatever, but to me, that's amazing that you would take time out of your day and actually pay for it too to hang out with the lifer, man. God bless you, brother. This man right here is a blessing. I want everyone to say we love you, John. We love you, John Thomas, today. Give him some love, man. Tell him that we care about him. And tell him he control my outfits. He control my outfits all the time. He always like looking sexy, looking hot, nice shirt. We love that. We love that. He thought he was trolling me a little bit. I told him I loved it. Every single second of it, man. Alt's performing better than Bitcoin so far this June. Alt season may last 1 month. You never know. I mean, that's shout out to Jordan Thomas. I don't know if you're friends with John Thomas. 2 Thomases. Like Thomas's English muffins. I'm just joking around. Lifer, love to John. There you go. What's good, Sam? How much importance do you put on choosing the right exchange to chart? It doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, because the liquidity is spread around. All-time history index works. I like Binance US. Tether, that to me, Binance.com Tether. That tends to have like the most, to me, the most accurate chart. But KuCoin can be fine. Nexi can be fine. It's all the same. Lifer is love, baby. Shout out to Sharad Mitra. Shout out to HPJ999. Shout out to all the lovers of life here, man. And look at this chat. I want to see this chat moving, man. That many people say love you, John. Why can't 500 people in the live say we love you, John? Let's get it moving. Shout out to all the beautiful souls on the live stream. 144 likes, 439 people on the live. Let's get it going, baby. Let's get it going. Just returned from my vacation in Mexico. What's new? Shout out to Carlos C. Somebody got a troll around here. And my cousin, Jordan Thomas, LOL. Is he really your cousin? Are you guys joking around, or is that really your cousin? Shout out to John Thomas for the $5 super chat. God bless you, brother. Thank you. You also gifted memberships yesterday. What a blessing. What a blessing. It's not possible not to love you, man. It's not possible not to love you, right? Yeah, funny, man. It's him. God bless you, brother. A double negative. Let's go smash that like for the best TA in the game. Shout out to Lifer Adam. What did Druid Crypto Emery disappear from the chat a couple of months ago? You never know, man. People go their own way. They do whatever they want, or they listen to, rumors in the woods. You know what I mean? And they believe them. That's kind of how it happens. But the most bullish on GRT out of the alts. But yeah, alts doing well. Wow, GRT like Graph Token. No, he ain't, but he cool. That's funny, man. That's funny. We got the Thomas brothers in the house. But he was constant for so long. Maybe he ran into a health problem. Maybe someone could reach out to him, tell him that we love him, tell him that we miss him, and he could be back. Join the trading group to get the education you need to change your life. Sam and the Lifer's dedication is amazing. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for Paul Bland. God bless you, brother. John, you're a great man. Crypto Bellico. What do you think about BitBoy crypto token Ben? It's sad what happened to Ben. I invested in Ben. I made a good amount of money on Ben, and then I put some of the profits back into Ben, right? And we knew it was going to retrace, number one. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's just use this as a teaching moment, all right? So it made a massive move to the upside, massive move. And then look, it had a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. So it made a head and shoulder pattern, and it also had a bearish divvy, all right? What is bearish divergence? Well, we go to like the 1 hour time frame. And you can see clear as day here that the RSI was starting to form, this kind of flatter top, while the bigger move here, and you could even say, yeah, it ends actually all the way down there, kind of like this. But this move is to the upside, and when you see price action moving high and the 21 away from the 200 SMA, every time that 21 and the 200 make this gap and you get this space, and what I like to do is I like to draw this space right here. You'll see these moving averages will space away, and then this will space away. So you'll get 2 spaces. You'll get the 21 spacing away from the 50, then you'll get the 50 to 80 and the 100 spacing away from the 200. You get this with a bearish divergence, and then you'll also get overbought MACD, overbought RSI. Like everything will coincide with being super overbought. You're likely going to get a bit of a pullback. So when we go back in time, if you were watching my channel, what I do is I didn't pull Fibonacci. So once I identify the high zone and I realize that we're overbought, all right? So if we go back in time here, and if you're watching my channel, I was basically saying, hey, this thing's cooked. Like, and even though it felt like more people were going to hype into it and there was some hype coming around, it definitely looked like it was going to be cooked to the upsides, to the downside. So I drew this Fibonacci, and then I said, you know, we're probably going to come back down somewhere to the 786, 706, maybe even to the 786 at 10, right? And we're back at 899. We're in the zone again. And then you would have to only look that we would come back to the next resistance point. That's the only resistance point that we had beforehand, all right? Kind of an Adam and Eve here that, you know, double bottomed out to the upside, massive move. So you had to wait, if you wanted to FOMO into this, to wait for it to at least hit the 786, 706 level. And now we're all the way down to the 886. I mean, that's like basically the lowest of retracements you can go. But now you're getting a little overbought on the 4-hour time frame. It has momentum, but, you know, you're finally low on the stochastics. Now we're looking for a bullish divergence, all right, which we kind of have right here because the RSI is floating up. And this is floating to the downside. Oops, sorry about that. And this is floating to the downside. A little bit of bullish divergence there. We need this to start to round on out so we can get a bigger move to the upside. Let's move away this though. But remember, Fibonacci is how you use, basically don't chase. Your emotions will tell you, oh, I got to get into this. I got to get into this. I got to get into this. And you'll have to relax and realize that you can't chase. You're not allowed to chase. You got to just let it do its thing and make that move to the upside. So very, very interesting, okay, that Bencoin did come all the way down to the 8.8, even past the 8.86, really. I guess if I go all the way to the low point, it's at the 8.86 retracement in between that area. Once it gets back up above it, you're going to look for a retest of the 618 and this level here, which was our resistance point for Ben at about 12509. The issue that they had was they were taking off Uniswap, where most people would have been getting into it. And there was issues with the logo, and Uniswap said it was copyright infringement or something because the dog, they changed the logo, but that took it like 3 or 4 days off of Uniswap, which, to be honest, really hurt the liquidity because you couldn't buy the coin unless you knew about it on MEXC, which we do. But not everybody understands MEXC. Not everyone realizes how amazing MEXC is. So, again, one other thing is I guess you're not going to get the airdrops that they're talking about with PSYOP and Ben and all this fun stuff. That was weird. I'm getting this weirdness. Come on, baby. Come on back to me. There you go. So crazy when that happens, though, because I lose like every window. All good, though. All good and gravy. Look, we lose the ticker. We lose it all. We lose it all. All right, back on action. Do you think this happened because of the drama? PF Ben ETH adding every day new tokens. The drama of Ben ETH. I mean, it's been a little crazy. I'll be honest. And, you know, I'm speculative, so I speculate here and there. Right? And one thing is, I like to do things out in the front so you guys can see what happened. But like, now I gave $1,000 to Loyal, and I only have $638. Now it is a high risk investment, and I'm only down, let's say, about $360. So I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. But I believe I put in like $500 into PSYOP or $300 into PSYOP, $500 into BAM token, which is down to 332. And my Ben token is back on MEXC. It's not here in the wallet, so I don't know if but I do own PSYOP, I do own Loyal, I do own Ben. If they can continue to push and he keeps pushing, I believe he's going to make it happen some way, shape, or form. And I'm also speculating. I'm just watching the liquidity. And whenever I see a big move or come like that, I'll be taking some of my profits back out. So, And again, it is what it is. Anything can happen. And I'm my own man. I just want to make this really clear. Like, I love everyone in the space, but I beat by my own drum. And I go my own way, and that's just kind of how I am, right? So as much as I love everyone in the space, I'm independent of most people because I do my own thing. So whether Ben token goes up or down, like God bless Ben, I hope the best things happen to it. I'm invested in it, right? But I don't follow anyone blindly in the space. It's not my thing to be like, yeah, all the way one way, I'll speculate. And he's he's one of the biggest YouTubers in the game. So I'm going to speculate on that idea, but I'm not going to say, oh, it has to go up because of this or has to go up because of that. You know what I mean? It all depends. It all depends. We're getting more of these. I want to look at HIRENGA real quick. So look, HIRENGA had this nice move to the upside. It actually went up even more. It went up 40% from when we first put it out. And now it's forming this nice little flag here to the upside. I like what I'm seeing here for HIRENGA. All right. And, it may want to come back down one more and maybe getting tighter in the zone. But I'm watching this very, very closely. This is interesting to me. A bit of a symmetrical triangle that could go either way. It has descending nature, but it could also, descending triangles tend to end up looking like a falling wedge. So I wouldn't be surprised if it came back down one more time. But I would watch HIRENGA. It's been hot right now. If there's a lot of people getting into the actual NFT, and what are these? These are fractional reserved NFTs. Fractal protocol is what you're going to be looking at. That's kind of the coin that then turns these NFTs into tiny little pieces. Remember, we started trading high coins in October. In September, that's when they first kind of came on the board, and we had massive gains from there. And we didn't know that was going to happen, right? Then we found AGIX at 4 cents, and we had massive gains out of AGIX all the way to about 60 cents. So we didn't know that was going to happen. Injector protocol. So in the next few days, anything could happen. We have to stay focused. We have to stay motivated. Anything could happen. So just keep paying attention to the market. Keep showing up. A lot of people are going to start falling off to the wayside. That's how this works. Bear markets get boring, sideways action. A year before the halving, things get a little restless. But this is where you pay attention. This is where the strong survive. This is where you find out who you really are. All right? There you go. Yeah, what's with Pepe? Will it ever recover? You never know. These are high risk, high reward things. You know what I mean? I truly believe Pepe will recover. I've been seeing some on-chain data that there's been a lot of whales accumulating Pepe. A lot of them have been accumulating Pepe. So, you have seen some big money getting into Pepe, and some big money holds Pepe. So whether they know something we don't, or they plan on pumping it again, and they move in months, in sections and months. Remember, they're patient with their money, the big boys. So I still hold my Pepe. We'll see what happens, but only time will tell. Obviously, I've made my boatload off Pepe, and I only put in what I was willing to lose at the end. So I made dang near 13 grand, and I only put in about $1,000 back into Pepe. So in my mind, you got to be smart. You can't just ape into coins just because you think it's going to be the newest thing in the world. You gotta take that money back. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but you gotta take that money back, in my humble opinion. For me personally, especially a meme coin. Any coin really, but a meme coin specifically. The only coin I'm not taking money back on is Bitcoin. Continuing to add to my Bitcoin stash every couple of days. That's what I do. That's kind of, that's what I'm focused on. So you do you, I do me. Bitcoin needs to get above 27,358 and hold it to get a move to 30K. Yeah, for sure. That's what I kept saying too on my live stream. It's funny you said that. I don't know if you're in my trading group, but in my trading group, I kept saying, Bitcoin must get back above 27,350 here. Look what I just said here. Me and you. Bitcoin still must make a high above 27,350 to put in a higher high on the micro trend on the 15-minute. BNB looking for a 15-minute scalp possible, and some other coins that I've already put out this morning for the trading group. They may just be the next FRA, Fedora, or what pops later on into the weekend. So pay attention. Pay attention. Going up, pump 33K soon. Shout out to Social Missionary. See, I don't make statements like that, but maybe I love your enthusiasm, and it would be great. But I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I say that all the time, and I believe it. That way I can continue to learn. So I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. No clue at all. Bitcoin could go wherever it wants to go. Who knows what could happen? Hi, friends. Running right now, 75% in the last 13 hours. There you go. Look at Hi, friends banging on them to the upside, getting that push. And what did it do? It had the space between the moving averages and the 200 SMA. And what did it do? It ripped up to the 200 SMA and continued to fly. If you're curious on this, it's getting a little high in the 1 hour time frame and the 15-minute, right? I would be looking at smaller time frames, and every time frame is showing me signs that there has to be some type of pullback coming. So again, I'd even draw like a mini fib on this and see where it's going. And could we retrace back down to the 618? There's a chance. Wow, look at that. Another order just coming in for Hi, friends. Just pumped up a little more to the upside. Look at that. But eventually, a pullback is coming, in my humble opinion. Try to look for flags on really small time frames, like the 1 second or the 5 when this thing's moving. But yeah, even bearish divergence here telling me that it's likely the end of the road. Maybe one more push up. But in my humble opinion, I'll be waiting for a flag. I would be taking profits on this right away, in my humble opinion. But again, you do whatever makes you happy. Nice move for Hi, friends off the bottom area to the upside. And shout out to all the elites that keep kicking it with me every single day in the trading group. God bless you all for being here with me. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for just sharing your awesome attitude, your awesome insight and everything that you see in the markets. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to push as hard as I can. So thank you so much, especially all that I went through this month with just the ups and downs of the market, ups and downs of life, and just, losing my father, man. I still can't believe my dad is gone. I think about him every morning. I think about the handshake he gave me. I think about his toughness. I think about how tough he was, man. He was the toughest guy in the world, man. And you know what? He never, even though he knew he was kind of, at one point, he could feel death creeping on him, even though he was scared about getting old, he never called me once crying. I thought about it the other day. He never once called me crying, man. Like, I'm not like he was supposed to, but he never said, Sam, I'm getting old and, I just need your help. Like, he called me and checked on me up until his last days. He was making sure one of his last calls to me was to make sure I didn't leave anything in my hotel room. Like, dude was always thinking about his son. Always thinking about me. And towards his last days, when all he could use really was use the phone, and he couldn't move too much as well. He moved all right. It wasn't the worst. I mean, even just until 2 weeks before he died, he could go to the bar and have a couple beers with the people at the bar, and he couldn't walk that much, but he could make it like 20 yards, 30 yards before he got a little tired. I also think some other things could have affected him, which I won't mention, but he definitely got the I begged my whole family not to, but it is what it is. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother channel. All right. You could tell your father was a great man with how much emotion you have when you speak about him. Yeah. Yep. And, some people say that the pain you feel when someone passes away is the love that they gave you. If someone treated you like complete garbage and they passed away, like, you might still be like, oh, that's sad. Death is death. But you're probably not going to be that down about it, right? But if someone treated you with a lot of love and gave you everything that they had, for the rest of your life, it's going to sit with you. It's going to sit with you, and you're going to be like, wow, that's what real love is. And honestly, my ability to love each and every one of you, my ability to keep the channel alive comes from my parents' ability to help us, right? So here's the thing. Now that they have the debt ceiling kind of figured out, they're going to print some money, in my humble opinion. They're going to be printing money. And I've been saying this for days, ever since my Twitter. You can even look at my Twitter account where I said, hey, man, they're going to be printing a bunch of money. Even in the macro, if Bitcoin slips today and we go to 26.6, it's not a big deal. These levels aren't that bad. Remember, we were down at 19K just two and a half, 3 months ago or less. So you got to put things into perspective, especially, both ways the love that got created between you and your father. Creative Crypto, God bless you, man. Isn't it sad the generations now barely even care about themselves, let alone anyone else? A parent's job never ends. Even in death, we can hear them in our heads giving us advice all the time. I feel for you. Lost my pops about 18 months ago. Still hurts. Still think about him every day. Yeah, I feel your pain, brother. I break down on his birthday and holidays. Stay strong. Be closer to your mom. We only have one set of parents. Amen. Amen. Love you, bro. Shout out to Stack McChange in the house. God bless you, brother. We are with you, lifer. Shout out to everyone here with me during these hard times. And I could have taken a month off and cried myself to sleep and went into a hole, but I decided to keep pushing forward every single day. We still found fin gains yesterday. We still were able to figure out where the market was going. And, I'm not going to be perfect every single day, but I'm going to do the best I can to track Bitcoin and show you the levels that need to be watched, the probabilities of where we're going to lose those levels, and kind of just things to think about to keep that you may not have thought about, to keep you kind of, oh yeah, I remember Sam said this. This is something that I need to pay attention to. So stay strong, stay true to yourself, believe in yourself. You're the only one that's got your own back, right? At the end of the day, I got you, we all got you, but if you stop believing in yourself, nobody can believe in you. Remember that. It's super, super important, all right? Super, super important. So one thing I wanted to show you is a lot of people don't realize, but we timestamp every single video. So for instance, FRA, right, which I put out yesterday, there it is right there. There's the FRA call right there. And Sean, we could snatch this up if you'd like, especially with my funny little insight here. But Shano, and I'll just post it to the Slack, or no, I'll just post it to our conversation. It's so much easier. And then I'll post you the after for FRA. But I mean, that was a beautiful gain. When you make 36% overnight, or basically in 24 hours from the setup that I looked at on the YouTube channel. So that's why people come to the channel. It's like they can say whatever they want about like ups and downs and this and that. And, you know, I always see people attacking other YouTube channels. So it's not just me. I'm just saying, just the general populace. Anything in life, there's always going to be some criticism. But we show you gains live. You know, and that was a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. Tight moving averages above a high volume node point of control with oversold RSI, MACD turning on you, ready to rock. It was about to turn, and the stochastics were low. I teach this simple strategy whenever I'm showing you a trade, whenever I'm showing you what's going down. Love you, Sean, with all my heart, man. I love you, Sean. I'm going to adopt you as my Filipino son. Is that okay, Sean? I know you have a dad, but you're like my son. I mentor you. I love working with you, brother. And with the passing of my father, I want to turn that love to you, Sean. God bless you, brother. And I want to see you live a beautiful life. And I'm so happy we got to link up and that you work with me, man. I'm blessed to have you in the entire system, in the company. And Sean, you do so much for us. God bless you, brother. You mean the world to me, Sean. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you more than you would ever know, Sean. Thank you for all your hard work, man. We can share him. Jamie wants a piece of you too. I will live the best life with you, Sam. God bless you, Sean. Thank you for writing that. And shout out to Jamie too, man. Shout out to my whole crew. Lakochi Coker, Jamie, and John, my other editor. Shout out to my whole team that sees the vision, sticks with me no matter what's going down. I wouldn't be able to do it without my team. So God bless my team and everyone in it. Thank you so much for everything you've given me in this life. God bless you all. I appreciate you all more than you would ever know. All right? More than you would ever know. So it's a Friday, baby. It's a Friday. And I'll give you one thing that I'm looking at, which is interesting, which has been a hot item on and off, honestly, which is Polytrade on KuCoin. And Polytrade's just been doing some damage here and there. You know, we got it down here with a massive pump. We saw this flag for a massive pump. And it's starting to flag again. We're going to pull a Fibonacci on this too and take a look at it. And I keep it simple. That's what I want to do, is keep it simple for you. But you can see we bounced here in the golden pocket off the 706 area, or we bounced through the golden pocket to the 706 area. Now we're back in this zone, back inside the 618er, inside this golden pocket. So we could see Polytrade getting a massive move up. The gains would be about 45%. This would be like the next FRA, Findora. So this is on my radar. I did post it to the trading group already. It's something that I'm looking at very, very closely. Polytrade, all right, a little high on the daily time frame. Can we get that scalp on the smaller time frame? That 4 hour is oversold. We want to loop up. Possibly it could come on down. We may redraw it slightly, but I like this bullish consolidation, this bit of a double bottom here for Polytrade. And again, it could go to zero. There's no guarantees, right? You never know what could happen. But I see tight moving averages with the MACD turning with lack of bearish momentum. I see the RSI. Also, I put the RSI inside of a pennant if I can. And the stochastics are low. I could see a nice big move coming for Polytrade, for a quick little scalp. Interesting move. We bring out all the liquidity too, and we see once it gets above this high volume node, which is the point of control, it can definitely gap up to 23 cents, which would help it hit that target of 24.5. So watching it closely. Nothing's guaranteed. Like that was a symmetrical triangle up or down, and it broke down. So we could even break down for a double bottom. Anything is possible. Whenever you're trading, you're just looking at probabilities. That's all. That is all. All the Lifer crew and the members, you are beautiful souls, and I love you all. Thank you, brother. Shout out to my Pinoys. My Pinoys. What is Pinoys? What do you think about frozen funds of people in Capo Turbo and Mung on MEXC? I don't like it. I don't know what you're saying. I don't get what you mean. You know what I mean? You'd have to kind of explain it to me. But what do you find or think about frozen funds of people in Capo, Turbo, and Mung on MEXC? I don't like it. I'm still in Mung, where our funds were frozen. Honestly, when you get into a tiny little knit coin, it's probably a good idea to keep it on your MetaMask wallet and keep it on the decentralized word, because these are just like tiny little coins out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Complaining about casino coins, like it's one thing if you had Avalanche or MATIC or something that's a blue chip. But in my humble opinion, like, I mean, these casino coins are high risk, high reward. Bob, Mung, all this stuff. So, and unless you've made some gains in one of them, I don't even suggest touching them. Like, I made enough Pepe gains to spread some money into the little coins, but that was it. Like, I didn't start putting my entire life savings into them. I don't like it when coins get frozen by an exchange. I'll ask my team about that over at MEXC. We'll ask them what's going on with that, and we'll get to the bottom of it. If you want to write me an email explaining cryptolifers@gmail.com, just explaining the situation in more depth, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Pinoys means Filipinos. It's slang, short word for it. Okay. Shout out to my Pinoys. Am I saying it right too? Pinoys? Thank you. Yeah. When you read Lifers testimonials, you'll know when they're in the right place. Chick BNB, it looks bullish from 3-hour time frame. I like BNB, and I already put it in the trading group. So now you're snatching one of the setups from the trading group right off the bat. But we'll show you what I see happening for BNB and what I was looking at. I'm looking at this, ascending triangle that looks pretty nice to me, honestly. Beautiful ascending triangle, right, on the 4-hour, and you're low on the 4-hour time frame. That's showing BNB can go up 55%. It's above this point of control, and it can gap all the way back up to $476. Hey, if Bitcoin starts to get a move and they keep printing money, that money's going to go into Bitcoin, then it's going to flow into the altcoins, then they're going to get into Pancake Swap and all this fun stuff, and BNB is that catalyst. They also had that big upgrade coming in June, which is going to be a big deal for BNB. Help it move faster, help it basically move more liquidity. So that's a big deal too as well for BNB. Been slowly DCAing in BNB, holding well through the craziness. It really has been. With a low of 199 after everything, still holding massive gains. I mean, got in at $30 in the last bull run, and that thing is still holding. It's one of the few coins that never went to its previous low, right? So holding money in BNB basically was like the least, it only went from 680 all the way down to 200. So it took a beat down, but you're really down 60%, right? Which ain't bad. Think about it. You're only down 400 on 600 if you bought the actual top. And most coins are down 100%, down all the way to they're demolished. So BNB is showing signs of strength. It looks really nice in this 4-hour time frame. And then my man said the 3-hour, I see this little flag here beginning to form for BNB. You can see I drew this little flag here this morning. Was hoping for a bit of a scalp on the 15-minute, but Bitcoin took the whole market to the downside. See, it was forming a little oversold region. Could we get the scalp? Bitcoin just kind of took the whole charts to the downside. But so that's kind of a shame. That did not happen. All right. That's a setup that didn't play out. But again, that's a small scalp. You either get it or you don't. I was hoping for that gap in the VRVP to play out. We got punished for whatever reason. And this is the Bitcoin falling wedge that everybody's watching here. See? So do we come back down, retest this level, and continue to the upside? Very, very possible. Wow, you're fast, Sean. You're fast. You deleted and edited that in 2 seconds. I saw it, and then I saw it was gone. Because I think you saw that it was trade at the top, but it was supposed to be, yeah. You're the man, dude. Hi, Sam. Had to step out for a few minutes. Not sure if you've addressed Hex. The creepy thing about Hex is I think people were like sacrificing or believing all this new stuff was going to happen to Hex. One thing I do see is that's an Adam and Eve double bottom. All right. And when I've played these even on meme coins, and they've played out pretty nice to the upside. So there's a bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom here for Hex. And that tells me that we could get a bit of a move to the upside. I mean, many, many times I've played an Adam and Eve double bottom, and it has given me great joy. Come up, usually retested, and then we get the length of the base here to the upside. That would bring Hex at least to this next resistance point. All right. And it's kind of bouncing off that point of control. I see Hex making a move back to the upside based on this Adam and Eve double bottom. All right, it is what it is. Hex would be back up somewhere at 1.9. I believe Hex is sustainable and long term. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't hold any Hex. I've never been on the Richard Hart train. It's just not been my thing. I'm not hating on anyone that loves it. There's a very strong Hex community. There's people that made a lot of money with Hex. And I'm not, it's just when I say something's not my bag, it's just like I didn't get there. It's like I didn't get to travel. Like I traveled to Puerto Rico, but I didn't get to, let's say Dominicana. And it doesn't mean I'm putting down Dominicana because I got to Puerto Rico. I only have so much attention and only so much money, right? So I can't be putting into every single thing. Like I'm an AGIX guy. I'm an AI portfolio guy, building my AI portfolio, looking at other things throughout the week and throughout the day. So, but I do see Hex in this Adam and Eve double bottom. I may be the first one to see it. I have not seen anyone draw this yet. And that usually gives us that move back to the upside. I would not be surprised if a 41% gain came out of Hex and the next, 5 to 8 days, something like that. Maybe even it takes 2 weeks in total. But I'm looking at Hex for a move to the upside. Are you still offering the Bear Marb special? Membership ended. looking to re-up, definitely jump on in. Jump on in. All right, jump on in if you want to jump on in. And what we'll do is, what I'm doing is basically, this has been the summer's, we'll do a summer special. So team, we're going to put out a summer special, $950 for the year. Jump on in, $950 for the year. We'll knock off a whole $50 off that initial bear market special. Bang. And we'll even teach you a class for free. So $950 for the year. And then everyone who takes the $950 will get a specific class for the $950 people. So if you go in for the year, I'm going to give you a class. And what that class is going to entail, it's going to entail all the instruments that I use, all the indicators. It's going to give you a PowerPoint, but I'm also going to include how to manage and look at CoinMarketCap. How I was able to speculate my way from very small amounts of money to bigger amounts of money by looking at market cap, supply, understanding kind of how I allocate. And again, I will never tell you what to do with your money, but I just show you some of my rules when it comes to investing, what I like, what I do, right? And then you could either, you take that education however you want and figure out how to implement it into your life. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do will be taken as financial advice. I'll never go over your portfolio, but if you want to jump on in, I can show you. All right. Bang, bang, bang. Remember, I'm not a perma bull or a perma bear. I am simply just a chartist. We shorted Bitcoin all the way down from 69,000 all the way to 15,000. We shorted Luna. My trading group doubled when Bitcoin tanked from 69,000 all the way back down to 15K. Why did my trading group double? Because we were shorting the market constantly. If I was a perma bull, there's no way my trading group would have doubled in that time. Absolutely impossible. So pay attention to what I'm talking about. Pay attention to what I show you. And remember, I'm not a perma bull or a perma bear. All right? Just not happening. All right? Hey, Sam, cheers. Clear my conscience. Is it Adam and Eve forming on the daily DXY, or am I crazy? We've talked about it all the time. There's been an Adam and Eve on this, and I've been talking about it for weeks. Absolute weeks. And I've showed it and discussed it. So if you've been to the channel once or two times, you're seeing it. Right here, this is the Adam and Eve. It's right there. I mean, it's clear as day, right? And that's the only thing. I like the Adam and Eve. It plays out really nicely. But that's an Adam and Eve double bottom, which suggests a big move could be coming. But remember, the dollar index could pump with Bitcoin together. They've pumped together before. They've dumped together before. It doesn't always mean, and why is that? We made a whole DXY video that you got to watch explaining these ideas, all right? Explaining all these concepts. Because, when you're trading, and you're looking at the DXY, it's against a basket of other currencies. If they start buying into other currencies, they'll sell off the dollar index. Does that mean Bitcoin's going to pump immediately? No. You see what I mean? So you have to remember that the dollar index is connected to multiple ideas and multiple currencies besides Bitcoin. All right. One good thing is that we were in this rising wedge that I talked about, and I don't want to see this make a move to the down. And it looks like the daily wants to dump on you. And it could be making the cup in the handle. This could be a cup with a little handle. A lot of times we do get a little handle even on the side of the Adam and Eve double bottom. But yes, this is definitely an Adam and Eve double bottom. It's clear as day. But patterns aren't 100%. All right, doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to happen, right? So we formed this flag. The flag, thank goodness, did not play out. Absolutely beautiful. One thing I was saying, do we pump up to the 200 SMA? When you see the 21 crossing and you're getting out to that area, the daily does want to take us to the downside. But the 4 hours looping for a move back to the upside. The 4 hours looking just similar to Bitcoin's 4 hour. It's a little bit behind though. So I want to see a bearish retest right now. I want to see the 4 hour attempt to get back in and bearishly retest and then have that daily play cleanup and continue to dump. The 3-day chart is very overbought. Bitcoin's 3-day chart is very oversold. So it tells me that a big move is coming for Bitcoin and a big move is coming down for the dollar index. So that's a good sign, the 3-day chart. And look, we could dump where? To the 200 SMA. So I'm looking for this 3-day chart to continue to dump. I do see the Adam and Eve double bottom. It doesn't mean it has to play out. We're going to take it one day at a time, one step at a time. One thing you want to check is you want to check US tether dominance. So now that we see we should get a dump in the dollar index on the 3-day, we should get a pump on Bitcoin on the 3-day chart. That's just what that's basically what the probabilities are telling us. It doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure. All right. And then we want to look here at the US tether dominance. All right. You can see I already been talking about the fact that we could get rejected and come down to the bottom of the channel, but the daily's oversold, wants to pump back up. But the 3-day chart says a big dump is coming for the dollar index. So if the daily can't save this move and get it out of here, it's likely that tether dominance is also going to fall to the downside. If they keep printing money, which they're about to, they're going to devalue the dollar. Anything that's connected to the dollar, bad news. And also, I see another bank collapsing. They've been hiding it for a while, but you don't just get First Republic, SVB, and then all of a sudden nothing happens. There's problems in the banking sector. You know it, and I know it. They cannot discuss it. The debt ceiling to me is really just it's funny because they're all connected, but the debt ceiling to me is just a distraction from what's going to happen to another big bank. And once another big bank goes down, people are going to run into Bitcoin. And eventually it's going to be a big commercial for Bitcoin. Every time a bank goes down, it's another, wow, gifting memberships. Thank you so much for the 5 memberships being gifted. That's the nicest thing you could ever do for the channel. God bless you, Toby. You didn't need to do that. You already put in enough work doing the super chats and hanging out. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And look at all the people grabbing up that gift, man. ETH, BTC, DXY, ESI, Total, and Total 3. Amen. Super chats, BNB 3-hour time frame. We took a look at that already. Thank you for the love. Thank you, Toby. I appreciate that. Hey, yo, my man's in green now. You look good in green with a star next to your name. And also try out the new emojis. We got some fun emojis you can jump on in. And as we get more people, we can have more emojis coming on in. Thank you so much for everyone jumping on in. Thanks, dude. You rock. What a nice guy to do that, right? Could you do Litecoin? Thanks. Yeah, we're going to take a look at Litecoin with the halving coming just 61 days away, right? Just 61 days away for Litecoin halving. And there we have it. I was making sure my memory served me correct. 61 days, 8 hours, 2 minutes, and 24 seconds. All right. The halving is coming for Litecoin. All right. My man, shout out to After Hours Investing. Bitcoin breaking out, says my man. I guess, if you call that a breakout. To me, it just kind of dwindling around. I guess you could say it decided to break back out of the zone. It did have the bullish divergence right there that could kind of get it back, and it's pumping. Look, it's the mini pump to the 200 SMA, tight moving averages, mini pump up. But again, we're looking for that bearish retest, right? It's going to be bearishly now you have a major resistance zone, even on these smaller time frames. So you're looking for a bearish retest right there, and this thing could continue to the downside. I'm not loving price action right now until Bitcoin can get back above 27,350, right? Which is really this bigger level here. Right there. See that? I'm not bullish on Bitcoin until it can get back above a previous, hardcore resistance zone. I'm just not bullish on Bitcoin at all. All right. I'm bullish on the weekly time frame as long as we stay above the 200 SMA. So I can be bearish on a smaller time frame, bullish on a bigger time frame. I hope you realize that. It may be confusing to you. The 4-hour does suggest that more pump could come, and we do have a falling wedge that could break to the upside. I'm with that. All right. So I'll show you, I like to just use multiple charts to show my ideas. At the end of the day, look, the 4 hours in this beautiful wedge, right? But to me, it's at the top of the wedge, all right? Could easily break back down and bounce here or double bottom. A lot of wickage, too, going on here, which is just kind of going after price action because there's less people in the market. So less people in the market makes it harder, makes it easier to get stopped out, too. So remember, once you start leverage trading on the summer months with low liquidity, it's just going to be harder to make the same gain as you did before, right? One good thing is we're back above 27,000. That ain't too shabby, battling up 27K. And we do have a buy-up wick here. But again, even me, some days I'm going to look at you and say, man, price action is confusing. There's out of 60 days of me doing the live stream over and over again, there's always 4 to 5 days where I look and I just say, man, it's a prerequisite. We got to get back above this resistance. Resistance. You got to see Bitcoin break and retest that zone. Maybe it can make a shoulder here and a right shoulder there and then break on its way to the upside. But until Bitcoin can get back above this resistance area, I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it, right? It gets above there, I'll long enough to this movement. Could be a nice long up into this next region of liquidity. You can see it right here. Resistance, and we'll come into this high volume node. We'll get above this point of control and rip back to the upside. So I'm not perma bear. I'm not a moon boy. I just show you what the charts convey, and these are the things that we have to convey. At the end of the day, it's a bigger falling wedge, and falling wedges do break up 68% of the time, right? And you expect eventually a bounce from this to the upside. And I told you I'm bullish as long as the weekly stays above the 200 SMA. As long as the weekly can stay above this 200 SMA, I am very, very, very bullish, right? You can see we have major support for Bitcoin at 25.4. We have support at 25.5, right? These are the next areas to look for. If we do decide to lose that zone, we come back down. But there's no guarantees that we're going to lose the zone at all right? Here's the yellow line, the 200 SMA. We just got to stay above it. That's it. We could wick below it, and we can hang out for 2 or 3 days, but we cannot close a weekly candle below the 200 SMA. That will spell trouble for me. that's when you would see me really flip more bearish than bullish. I'd say, hey, everyone, this isn't looking amazing. Let's switch to bigger shorts. But until then, the shorts we have on are good enough. We don't need bigger shorts. Get it? Anyway, so fear and greed index sitting at $50 or $50 at 50. Sorry, and we want to see it get further into the pain to accumulate more Bitcoin. I'd love a 23,000. I'd love a 22. Are we going to get there? Highly unlikely, but you never know. All right, you never know. Look at my Bitcoin buy at 19,000 is still up $8,000 on 19,000, kicking inflation in the teeth. Imagine if I put all my net worth into Bitcoin. I didn't put all of it, but some days I'm like, I should have put everything I had. Dang near $1 million in cash into Bitcoin at 19,000. You'd be sitting on a pretty penny right now. You could sell that, pay the taxes on it, and still have a bunch of kitty and the Bitcoin that you had initially. So Bitcoin's been a great investment in 2023. People haven't really talked about it, or since late 2022. If you got in at that low point in this area, Bitcoin's up. And let's look at the macro trend for Bitcoin. That's what a lot of people aren't paying attention to too. You have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low, you have a higher high, you have a higher low. On the weekly too, Bitcoin's been putting in a higher low. So it's all minutia. As long as we can stay above this low here. If we lose 22,100 on the weekly, I'll change my tune and but as long as we keep these higher lows, that's an uptrend to me. And an uptrend is an uptrend. And also, like at the end of the day, we're in this channel, and I could see this channel just breaking further to the upside, which brings me to the total market cap and all of cryptocurrency, right? But that's the weekly, and I keep mentioning this because I don't want people to get stuck on the smaller time frames and not be able to see the big picture. All right. Sam, where can I find the expected percentage move from certain trading patterns? Is there a place where I can find them all, or do I have to search for them one by one? Honestly, all you have to know is most bullish patterns are 68% of a chance at the upside. And most, it's honestly, it's kind of something you just learn, you know what I mean? I guess, but I'm going to show you right now. If you hit trading patterns, there's like 15 major trading patterns. Then there's more and more. But like these are the main trading patterns here that most people play. The M, the double, the head and shoulder, the rising wedge, the broadening, expanding triangle, right? The bearish triple top, which is basically a bearish rectangle, right? So all these are all basically 68% of a break to the downside. The only thing is these three bilateral. So if it's a continuation pattern, there's a 68% chance it continues to the upside. If it's a reversal pattern, there's a 68% chance it reverses price action. If it's a bilateral, there's 50-50. So these patterns go into 50-50. However, in my mind, descending triangles break down more, ascending triangles break up, but I've seen the ascending triangle do the 50-50 move. You can never guarantee it more like a bull pennant. And again, none of these are guarantees at the end of the day. They're all percentages, but there are times where, you're just highly more likely to get a move. Now, if you play the stochastics with it and momentum, you'll get a higher percentage there because you're going to be like, well, I'm in the continuation pattern with low stochastics and good momentum. That tells me we're likely going to move to the upside. So that's kind of how it all works for me. All right. And then I also use, like my man just said, price action is so big to me. How many did we get a candle? We have a bullish engulfing. Are we back above a zone? To me, moving averages and price action, support and resistance do also come into play. And people try to call me a pattern trader, but I'm merely a divergence trader. At the end of the day, divergence is my number one rule. Like I've been calling a bottom for Bitcoin here, right? The macro bottom. And I've been screaming it on every channel that I can go on, Spaces, U10, wherever I go. I've been pushing this idea that we have a bottoming here on price action, and that's something that I just keep talking about over and over again. And yeah. Yes, 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 and yes. All right, so here's the deal. You know, the problem with trading is people get stuck in the smaller time frames. They can't zoom out. As you get better and better at trading, you're able to handle the bigger time frames and the smaller time frames. Now, there's a time where it gets super confusing because first you're good at one time frame and you're like, I can trade the 1 hour. Then one day you see a setup on the 1 hour doesn't play out. And had you gone to the daily and seen that you were at a huge daily resistance, you would have figured out why that didn't play out, right? So then you start adding bigger time frames, but then you get confused. This is the evolution of the trader. I'm just breaking it down for you. Then you get confused because you're like, man, I had the daily, I had the 1 hour, and then you're like, but this says that says this. You know what I mean? And there's just a lot of back and forth, and it's a lot of nonsense. And what happens eventually, you keep doing it, and eventually your subconscious mind is able to start compartmentalizing it for you. For me, that's what happened to me. And you're able to kind of see it all together and feel it for what it is. And that really, really changes the story and changes the situation. And I love you, Danny. I love you with all my heart, Danny. If you're out there and you're listening, I love you, brother. You're a good man. You know what I mean? And I look for the best in people all the time. You know what I mean? No matter what. And I hold no hate in my heart because hate just consumes you, man. Hate and pain are things that I just don't have the time for. You know what I mean? And especially when like you go through a big momentumous, kind of like my dad passing away, like you realize everything else is a bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a real high-end feeling, like it's all nonsense. So everyone, God bless you all, man. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me. 50K was clandestine. You were the first one to say it since day one. 50K was clandestine, man. You were the first one to say it since day one. You know, Lifer speaks facts. These charts and time frames used to be so confusing and frustrating. Now it looks so clear as day. Thanks, Sam. I've learned so much following your streams. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. The subconscious mind can process as 4 million bits per second. Conscious mind, 40 per minute. Look at that, dude. Do you still remember KUJI? It now crossed the $1 mark. We discussed it was at 0.4. Big W on the weekly breakout. Having a good day. I can't even, my eyesight is getting so bad that I can't read that ticker. True story. KUJI? Question, Sam, does the concept of divergences apply to multiple indicators like the MACD, RSI, MFI, and OBF? Yes. Where you would say is the strongest? Yeah, you could put it on any indicator you want. What I found is most indications come from the RSI, and the RSI creates the momentum, and money flow comes from momentum, right? OBV comes from momentum, right? But you can find divergences on multiple things. All over, you can find divergences absolutely everywhere. There's RSI and OBV divergences, right? And yeah, I mean, it can help. You can just look for divergences all over the place and look for some strong divergences in the move. Like, you know, to me, RSI is just the go-to. You know what I mean? RSI is the go-to. So, like for instance here, I believe HBAR on the 4-hour time frame. Let's take a look at Hedera hash graph, which I don't hold long term, but it's starting to look interesting to me on the weekly chart, right? Starting to form a bit of a cup and handle here on the weekly. A lot of people like Hedera, so I want to go over Hedera. What do I see happening to Hedera hash graph? And we might as well split this off. Shout out to everybody here. My name is Samuel James Price, and today we want to talk about HBAR, Hedera hash graph. A lot of people are into this coin. I've been hearing it getting a lot of buzz lately. I personally am not holding it long term, but I think that it could be a nice swing trade opportunity here coming in to the next few weeks. So I'm looking at the weekly chart, and the weekly chart has a major resistance here and could continue to the upside. And look at the tight moving averages. Look at this cup and handle. Look, and the weekly really wants to rock and roll. So Hedera hash graph looks very, very interesting to me. Falling volume with falling price suggests that we can still get a move. I'd like to see it get back above this point of control. That point of control is going to be 0. Let's see where it is. It's 0.6 and 1/10 of a cent, barely 0.6118. It gets above 0.6. This thing can fly easily back to 11. It's almost 100% gains, right? We take a look at the daily time frame, and we're going to take a look at the daily is starting to reset. But what's good about the daily is there's a little bit of bullish divergence there too, which is beginning to flatten out. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, look at the 4-hour right here off the bat. We do see some bullish divergence. What is that? Well, this is swinging down while that's swinging to the upside. And it's very slight, but it's still there. So that's something you definitely want to pay attention to. All right? Exactly. And so, yeah, and I learned so much, man, throughout the whole process, Danny. I really did, man. And I fasted for Ramadan, and I prayed that I would find the best of every situation in my life. And, you know, I really changed spiritually. So I have to say thank you for everything that happened, because if it didn't happen, I would never have eternally looked deep inside myself and found something different, you know, something different of each scenario. And I thank God for everything that we went through, honestly, because I found a new level of spirituality. Then my dad passed, and like that's become my new kind of like work thing that I got to work through. But besides all that, man, I just want to say I appreciate it because I learned so much from every situation. If you don't put yourself out there, it is what it is. Anyway, back to Hedera hash graph. So we see this bullish divergence. This tells me that this is likely to start getting a move to the upside. Now, the safe bet is to use your support or resistance. Make sure that the SR flip occurs, which means we get back above this and bounce. That would be a really nice area. At least this here could be a nice space to cover, okay? Back to the upside. And that's still about a 25% gain. Then we can wait for another push-up and possibly another retest of the two zones. In total, though, that could be a beautiful over 70 to 100% gain on Hedera hash graph. So watching Hedera closely, I do see the weekly in line, the daily in line, and even the 4 hours showing signs of love to the upside. And that bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame tells me that we may be bottoming out here for Hedera, making our new higher low that could compete to the bigger idea. And look, low, high, higher, low. That's macro uptrend. So Hedera hash graphs on the radar. The target would be about 11 cents and 9/10 of a cent, about 12 cents if we raise up. And it's sitting at 5. I mean, you're looking at more than 100% gain. That's 120% gain. And so that's definitely something that I'm looking at, and definitely something to keep on the radar. All right. Inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin on the 1-hour time frame. Today was the most volatility in Bitcoin I've seen in months. Sorry for not being clear on the ticker. It is KUJI, and it's on MEXC. Let's take a look at that, man. I appreciate you saying that. And team, take this ending. Everyone, thank you so much for looking at this HBAR price prediction. I'll be doing price predictions each week on different coins. Let me know in the description which coins that you want, and I'll do another one of these and keep them coming. Shout out to everyone here. My name is Samuel Price, the Crypto Lifer, and I do a live show every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Jump on in. You're going to see price predictions like this by the hundreds in less than a week. So we also timestamp everything we do so you can find out what coin we're talking about. You may even find your favorite coin tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And HBAR, man, HBAR. So there we go. And you probably just take out that little part where I was talking to my buddy there, and we could move on. But yeah, that could be a nice little price prediction video that we could kind of send on out to the world. I greatly appreciate that for the Hedera hash graph team. All right. Analyze Luna. Love the energy is back. Love the energy is back in your voice, Sam. Shout out to my man, Robin O. Lifers to the upside. It's a match of golf on average. How many balls do you lose per 9 holes? And a match of golf on average, how many balls do you lose per 9 holes? It depends. I've lost 4 balls in a row before. I've kept the same ball every time. I don't play golf enough really to find that average, to be honest with you. I haven't played golf since, when's the last time I played golf? Like the end of September last year, you know. I'm going to call my buddy and say, hey, man, take me golfing. You know, I always have to kind of, you know, my buddy owns a golf course, but he uses it, you know, a lot of political ideas, different things. You know, people got to go. He's got to grease the wheels. So he uses it a lot to take people out, the right people to play golf. But every once in a while, he has a free time, a free moment, and we can kind of find our way into tee time anytime, really, as long as he kind of figures it out. So I just hit him up. I said, I've been cooped up for too long. You got to take me golfing. And he usually finds a way to take me golfing. So I made it to the 16th without losing one. Then dunked 2 in the pond, one after the next. You're so funny, man. Can anyone recommend a safe and trusted VPN? You're funny. So I can hop in right now using DeFi, and fees are insane. I would be using NordVPN. Babe, shouldn't we have a NordVPN affiliate link? Whatever happened to that? No answer. Okay, and we're going to look at KUJI. I got a new color. Shout out to Brad Robertson. Thank you so much for jumping on. A lot of members jumping on in today. You guys are making my day right now. Really, really appreciate the memberships, man. You people are amazing. 11:22 on this beautiful June 2nd. What a beautiful day it is to be alive. Oh, I almost fell into the green screen. What a beautiful day it is to be alive. May God bless each and every one of you. So here's the deal. Let's look at KUJI. Wow, he did put this out. Look, and you could see us. We were looking at this cup and handle, and it went all the way. It was at 40 cents, 37 cents. He's right, man. When we first looked at this thing, and you can see me talking about I would either buy the breakdown or the retest here, and it kind of fell out. Maybe it retested right there, that previous resistance node right there. Look. It's not always going to happen exactly as you plan, but it should fall somewhat into the idea. So look, previous resistance here, bounce, bounce, bounce. All right. So visible range volume profile, my man. So look, I mean, this thing boomed. So he put it on the channel when, like, down at 40 cents, and it boomed all the way up 174% from when we first put this out, from when I first went over it. And even the first missed idea is you kind of eventually had this nice little flag too. And there was your measured move to the upside. Wow, this dude wasn't lying, man. And also kind of has a very large shoulder, head and a right shoulder, man, to the upside. Anyway, this made my day, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you for jumping on in as a member. Wow, you guys giving so much memberships away. This is just a blessing. So anyway, look, this thing looks like it could continue. Like, your measured move is further to the upside. I'm not like trading this, but I'm just going over something that someone on the channel wanted to talk about. Today's live is on fire. Shout out to Hassan Kamal, man. God bless you, man. Greetings from Germany. Can you take a look at CFX and Comp? Of course we can. Send it as super chat or TA or deep dive. But I like Conflux, so I want to talk about it and break it down. So this is the Chinese narrative coin, and what I see happening right now is an inverted head and shoulder. I keep it simple. You know what I mean? That's kind of why I believe I'm able to see things a lot, because I keep it simple. Tight moving averages, bouncing off the 618, the 706 area. Very, very interesting. Toby gifted 5 more. Dude, Toby, man. Where are you coming with this love, man? Toby, Man, look at this guy. Look, and I love seeing the people who grab it up. They grab up the gift. They grab up the gift. Uplift with the gift, baby. Uplift with the gift. Let's go. Coffee's kicking in now, so I'm high off the caffeine. You know what I mean? It's now on. Yeah, it's now on Toby, man. Hassan Kamal. There you go. Exclusive. Wow. Look at all the awesome lifers. So soon the entire chat will be exclusive lifers. I'll do a basically a membership stream, and it's going to be the same amount of people on the regular stream. You know what I mean? So funny, man. Earn to give, my baby. Crypto Baker, my man. Love that coffee, man. Sean, do you like coffee? You drink coffee, Sean? That good Filipino? Gifted 5 memberships. John Thomas gifted again. John, man, you keep giving. You guys are insane. I love this. What he did tell me is when you get gifted a membership, it lasts 1 month. Then you would have to resubscribe to keep it moving. But if you like what you get, if you like what we do there, jump on in. Congrats to all the new lifers. He's going to change your life forever, man. God bless Sabi's life, man. Thank you. John Thomas, you're the man, dude. What a beautiful people. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? Nobody's perfect, man. You know? So I see an inverted head and shoulder here for Conflux inside of a symmetrical triangle, right? And what I want to do is look at the bigger time frames. That's really going to be our escape move out. Dude, Toby Leonard has gifted 20 now. 20 membership. Yo, what is going on here? What is going on? Toby, my man. Toby, man, this guy's got endless wallets. He's just gifting it out to the point of no return, man. You didn't have to do that. God bless you, brother, so much. I can't believe you just gave away 20 memberships and people are just grabbing them up. I want to know what it's like to look like. How do you grab up a membership? Dude, amazing. Jamie, look what you did, man. Amazing move. Awesome. Wow, I had the gifts locked, man. It's so funny, man. He couldn't get into the gifts because he locked them. Wow. That's insane. You must have given 30 today alone. 30 times 5. I mean, that's $150 if I'm wrong correctly. I mean, you guys are blowing my mind. You really are. And it's days like this that make me believe. You know, I wake up. I never know what the live stream's going to bring, but I put myself out there every single day. And when you put yourself out there, you're going to get something back. You're going to either learn the right or the wrong thing. You're going to learn something about yourself to keep it moving. Me and my dad had so many, whenever me and my dad talked, there was a deepness to our discussion. You know, we never just said, hey, did you get some bread or milk or something like that. It was always like we transcended time and nature every time we discussed anything. And my dad would be like, that's the thing. I don't make the rules. This is how the universe works. This is what I got to tell you, you know? And he had that old voice, that deep old voice. He had been there so many times before. You know what I mean? Welcome to the exclusive lifers, man. Shout out to XCap. Shout out to all the beautiful members coming in on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Wow. And wow, new member, man. And I love how I never even knew how we programmed this, but the new member is attached to the OBS. That's amazing. Honestly, this shirt is my dad's shirt. It's a little big on me because he was bigger than me, but I have big shoulders that fill him out. And, he probably stopped wearing this shirt, let's say, I don't know, maybe he even bought it and it was a little small for him. Maybe he wore it here and there, but it was still sitting. So you have to remember, I moved into, my dad basically lived in 2 homes, back and forth. And then he eventually moved to the house that was his summer house. And he kind of it was a quieter countryside area. And he decided to move into that quieter countryside area. And when he did that, he left so many things in this house that he thought he was going to use because he thought it was going to come back and forth. Then he got so old that it was hard for him to go up and down the stairs, and he stopped coming here. Even though I was only an hour and a half away with a boat ride, 2 hours about, he stopped visiting me. I had to go visit him a lot. And eventually he left so many things here, like shirts he never opened, shoes that he had, bathrobes, and when he passed away, there was just so much of his stuff that I had to go through. And I found the things that I still liked, and I kept a few of them. He gave me all his ties, too, but this is one of his shirts, man. So today I wore my dad's shirt. And, as I believe in God, I'm not supposed to cry because I got to believe that my dad is in another place. And he's in a great place. He's with God, and he's, traveling through the universe, and he's like an ethereal being, and he's out of this plane of existence. And he's doing something amazing. I can't believe how many new members are coming in today. This is absolutely out of control. 318 people on the likes. Can we get the likes up to the button? Let's get the likes up to 500. Let's keep the energy going. Let's go, baby. Yes. 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 Funny, I was live streaming on Sin City Crypto, and then he sees me yelling. I'm like, that is just that energy. That is that vibe, baby. And I'm not afraid to push it up. I'm not afraid to push it up, you know? And you got to live in love, man. You can't hold on to the pain. You can't hold on to the pain. You got to live in love. It is what it is, baby. It is what it is. All right. So awesome for the people who got the membership, man. God bless you all. So I like conflicts. I'm still hanging on. And again, if it comes back down here and does a bearish retest, then we're out. We don't have to risk a lot to get into conflicts. We really don't, right? And we can look at the daily and the 3-day chart. 2-day chart, 3-day chart aren't amazing. I like it if the 3-day was a little bit better. 2-day chart's also curving back down a little bit. May have to come down for some more pain or go sideways until that resets. All right. But the 4 hours pointing up pretty nicely. And again, what I see happening is kind of a slow move here through the side zones. So this thing came back up, and I mean, the falling wedge to the upside, baby. The falling wedge to the upside. So inverted head and shoulder. All right. On Conflux. And again, if we bearish retest, the trade's a wrap, but I like this tightness. I like what I'm seeing, and it's been slowly consolidating, and it could have dumped even harder. We pulled a fib from there. You can see we bounce off this like 786 area really close. We're kind of in the golden pocket right now too. All right. Thank you for gifted memberships. You people are absolutely out of control with the love. I've never seen so much love on any other channel. The memberships are out of control, man. Thank you to all the members here. God bless you. We're going to have our first like membership stream. And you know, the member streams are going to be about like mentality and subconscious mind. Like they're going to be a little deeper because I know that if you became a member, you're ready to rock with me on the deep side. So CFX, man. CFX. Right? Still on the radar. God bless you. Click on the green gift box to turn on accept gifts. Wow. And so many people are accepting gifts today on my channel. And that's a beautiful thing, man. You know, be the gift. Uplift with the gift, they always say. And, you know, one of the greatest messages that you might receive is that you are the message. I talk about that all the time. One of the greatest messages that you might receive is that you are the message. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let's keep looking at the charts here. There's got to be some other opportunity. There's always opportunity in the market. I am looking at this, but I want to slow my roll and make sure it's at the proper time. At the proper time. Injective looks to continue to go up. That's on my radar. You know, and we're looking at some of these decentralized exchanges. GMX is something that I wanted to build a bag of. I believe in the next bull run, this thing is going to be huge. It's going to be a pretty big player in the game. All right, so we're looking at GMX now. It came up. Let's look at it on the daily time frame here. So it's, you know, new to KuCoin, pretty new coin in general, right? And that's this is that decentralized exchange, GMX. Definitely watch my video about decentralized exchanges where I really broke it down. It's going to help you understand what's happening, what they're all working on, and what their specific, you know, everyone has a specific attribute that makes it a little different than the other decentralized exchanges. Definitely want to check that out and look into that. That's something that will definitely kind of like change the way you look at the market. So it boomed up. It then had the bearish divergence. It came back down, right? And it's at that 786 retracement. I mean, that's a beautiful place. I'd wait for the daily to reset one more time, But I'm starting to watch this closely for a possible move. All right. We want to see if there's that bullish divergence, maybe even on the 4-hour time frame. And you kind of have it there a little bit. It's a little swinging down. Well, that's pretty flat. And then this kind of swinging up. It all depends. But, that area is something to look at. We may go to the 886. It's closer, but definitely something that I want to start accumulating. I like this 55-cent region, anywhere between 35 and 50 cents. I'm broader when I look at a long-term accumulation, but GMX is very, very interesting. All right? Very, very interesting. RFox, Optimism is also on my radar at 145. Everyone wants to know, is Optimism done with this tank? Could it come back to the upside? Had that cup and handle, right? But eventually pretty low. Remember, it's a layer 2 that had a lot of hype too. So once that hype dies down, you're looking for that real fair value and on Optimism. Did I miss a super chat? TA or deep dive? Let me know. I'm having a hard time kind of keeping track with them. XRP look like it's coming out of a Sammy cup and handle though. XRP pump continuing. Super chats from MATIC. Thank you, Toby, for coming through with the live. And then we got to do the news. So stream is going very, very well. Exciting to be alive today. Shout out to everybody here on the live. So you finally have this kind of bullish divergence here. Is it on the daily though? I want it on the daily on Optimism, really, for me to take it seriously. So I made a line for no reason. Slight bullish divergence on the daily time frame. That's a good sign that we could be hitting our bottom here for Optimism. I would watch this closely, and I like the retracement near this golden pocket in between the 706 area. Very, very interesting. I'd be watching Optimism. Good place to scoop up some op, in my humble opinion, for the long term. All right? And I buy what I do is I buy like $250 worth of a coin. Eventually what happens is you have so much of it, you don't even realize. And and you don't get hurt emotionally because you just bought little bits at a time, specifically at these low volume areas. All right? At these low volume areas. So right now I'm going to go to spot. And I'm going to just buy a little more Optimism. Remember, I'm buying with no fees here. 0 fees. I want to make this very, very clear. 0 fees. So I would eventually make use of this 0 fees until it changes. And I like this 143 area for Optimism. Make sure you're doing the right coin. Yep. Boom, boom, boom. And remember, whenever I touch this button, it adjusts to the most amount of money. Happened to me one day, and I ended up buying $3,000 worth of Bitcoin instead of 300. Wasn't the worst thing in the world, but we ended up getting way more Bitcoin than we thought possible, right? And look, I just buy $245 worth of Optimism on the low. That's a very easy bear market strategy. Whenever I see something below a 618 or a 786, something like that, I buy 250, buy 250, buy 250. It rips up. If it rips up amazingly well, maybe take a little profit to reinvest. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. You got to figure this out on your own. And you can see if the order history filled real quick. And we filled that order history pretty fast. Okay, so that's just one thing to think about. That's what I love about MEXC. It closes the orders fast and furiously. Remember, if you go to the markets too, and you can just see what's happening in the markets, you'll see there's more opportunity here. Like Furrow Combo up 177%. Cogito, CGV up 158%. FX, Function X, this MOTG, Meta Octagon up 92%. Soul Saver, it's called. Kai, Rush, a lot of coins up 50 to 60 to 70 to 100%, all the way down to about 38. Pappy, funny, and a lot of these are little tiny coins, right? Bax has been interesting too. We'll take a look at Bax. That was been on my radar for the last few days, on and off as well. Wow. And hold on one second. What just happened there? Gifted one crypto. Thank you so much for gifting. You guys are so nice. You don't have to do this. Super awesome. MEXC has such great liquidity. There's a link in the description. But it's also right here. It's also right here in the Discord. All right. So jump on in, join the trading group, join MEXC whenever you can. All right. God bless you all for being here. Super chats, MATIC and ladies. Oh, you guys still want that, ladies. Still want those ladies. Let's take a look. Yeah, because a lot of people like to be a big shot. Like, I swing millions of dollars on this time frame. And, like, again, I've been in... People ask me, do we ever trade? Someone the other day, do you trade? I mean, I put a $14,000 trade on the... How many times have I traded live on this channel? Over hundreds and hundreds of times, right? And I've taken scalps on the 1 minute. I've swung trade. I've made bigger trades, smaller trades. I've done all sorts of trading. And I trade hard when the market's really, really good. Like, that's when I start putting in bigger money. I still short and long the market right now, but I wait for the market to be perfecto for them. You know, it's like surfing. Why would you try to surf when the waves are just all over the place and you're going to get like your back broken? You know what I mean? You could do that, but you can also wait for the perfect wave, the perfect day, and just ride as many waves as humanly possible. So I take advantage of the markets when the markets are ready to take advantage of. All right. Otherwise, I build for the bear market and I look for opportunity. I don't like losing money. So there's no sense in risking my funds when I feel like the market isn't in a perfect place. Doesn't mean I'm not DCAing. Doesn't mean I'm not building a position. Doesn't mean I'm not always speculating and growing. That's why I bought a whole Bitcoin at 19,000. Who's the YouTuber that bought a Bitcoin live in front of you? I haven't seen not one of them. I love them all. I love every YouTuber. I'm not hating. I'm just making a clear statement. Show me the YouTuber that bought Bitcoin live on camera in front of the world. I know there's a few out there. I'm not the only one. But, you know, I put my money where my mouth is. Shout out to Lieutenant Tandangle. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I'm at work I keep having to leave the stream to attend to things. I keep missing info on the Bitcoin chart. You're all right. Don't worry, man. We'll go over Bitcoin one last time for you before we jump on out of here. There's 18 minutes left in the stream. Arbitrum, it's been on a run. Like 50 memberships given out today. Insane, dude. And you gave away like 30 of them, man. What a beautiful person, man. God bless you. Thank you so much for the love. I mean, this little ticker's been going off all day. New member. I can't even get a word in without hearing that little chime on the new membership. So God bless you all. Thank you for loving the lifer. Thank you for loving the community. This has been an amazing experience to feel and just, you know, on these grinding summer days. So MATIC's in this kind of cup and handle. You can see it. MATIC's in a bit of a cup and handle, right? And low, high, higher, low. All we want is this to break through this high to the upside. That's what we're looking for at 1.76. That's the level that we want. You know, that's the level that we could get back above. So I'm looking for 1.76. Also, MATIC gets back above $1. It's going to be a big deal. I hold MATIC long term. And honestly, MATIC's low, 30 cents back in June of 2022. So it's been a year. It really, even when a lot of coins dumped hard, MATIC's been actually, even with the dev fund and all the stuff going on, MATIC's been holding up pretty well. Some of my first MATIC was bought at 76 cents. So, you know what I mean? I wasn't one of those guys that got into MATIC. I knew MATIC when it IEO'd. I watched it IEO at 1 in the morning. It was like 1:45, 2 in the morning. I watched it. I also watched it's the horrible MATIC day when MATIC had a horrible dump where it dumped all the way to the downside, something nasty. So I'm always wary of MATIC. I pay attention to what's happening with MATIC. And honestly, if it can stay above this point of control, it's likely to fly. It has not a lot of resistance too. It can get all the way back up to at least $1.75 and not that hard. Right? It really has one level of major resistance to get through. Some local ideas, but a macro level right there at 175. MATIC's interesting to me right now. And it's in a giant symmetrical triangle, you could say. It's in a cup and handle, as you can see, inside the zone. We take away the moving averages just to look for price action. And the daily does want to come down one more time. All right, so we could even open this up. Maybe the daily comes down and touches the bottom of this channel one more time. Our 3-day, my go-to chart, wants to rip for MATIC. And you'd be surprised how powerful the 3-day chart really is. This thing can make bacon on the beach and really get a rip to the upside. So I'm watching MATIC. It definitely is something I like to accumulate. I already have basically enough MATIC though. I have boatloads of MATIC. I really do. So I'm going to keep my my DCA down for the day. I kind of want to get in a little more MATIC though at 90 cents. You know, I think that where is MATIC going to go in the bigger time frame? I believe MATIC can get all the way to $5, $6, $7 in the next bull run. You know, the narrative of layer 2s is bigger than it was the last time. And so more people understand even what a layer 2 is conversational speaking than before. They're like a layer what? Right? A layer wahoo? Now they know exactly what a layer 2 is. They get excited. They want to jump on it. You know what I mean? So MATIC starts to kind of give you that feel, and it's the premier layer 2. We have so many out there, Arbitrum, Optimism. Now there is more also, with that being said, with it being more known, there's more competition for the layers. And that's another thing that you think you're kind of balancing the idea. How much liquidity will MATIC get? But to be honest, it's going to work more. There's going to be even more coins building on it. I believe it becomes one of the more, one of the most active GitHubs, and more people will be on MATIC kind of doing its thing. So look out for MATIC to continue. I believe that's a low. That's your macro lower low, higher low. We just got to put in a higher high for MATIC. And it's also in a slight uptrend, as you can see. There's your low. There's your high. There's your higher low, higher high. And MATIC can really begin to build. You know, it can get a pretty big move to the upside. Wow, he just gifted another membership. I don't know how you keep gifting it. Wow, uplift with the gift. Toby, man, God bless you, brother. You're the man, dude. It's very nice of you. Bacon on the beach, man. Shout out to Cass. Case Cash, man. My man. Haha, memberships up to the watchers. You're the man, dude. Shout out to John Thomas, brother. You started this membership. Look what you did, John. You're a blessed person, man. Man, you came out and you basically spilled your life to me, man. And I spilled my life to you. I mean, what an amazing little Zoom we had yesterday, man. Thank you so much for doing what you did. Shout out to Alex Smart. Was gifted a membership by Toby. He grabbed it up. I forgot to turn allow gifts on. Oh, man. So awesome, guys. That got the membership. Love this group. Can I give a membership away? I don't even know how. I don't even know how to do it. I don't know if I can. I'm trying to. Actually, I shouldn't try, right? You got to do, Sam. You got to do. Start a poll. Start a Q&A. I missed it. I hit the like button. Did you? The fact that you said you missed it means people are FOMOing for the membership, which is awesome. That means you'll get it again. If you desire it, it'll come your way. Didn't know the allow gifts. Life ain't even a member. You funny, man. You guys are funny, man. I run this show, man. I'm a member. I'm not only a hair club, I'm also a member. Remember the guy? I'm not only a hair club president, but I'm also a member. You remember those? If you're from the 80s like me, you remember those commercials for hair loss, right? How do you access the membership? Is it for the Discord? No, it's just really for, you know, it's really perks for YouTube. All right, that's all. Nothing crazy. I don't want people to get like, oh, I'm in the trading group now because I'm a member. Our fearless leader, Crypto Bear Baker, man. Exactly. Try let space for error. Do is certain when you are one with self and God. Exactly. Try is like the word try is the worst word in the world. It's nothing to do with the trading group. It's just the YouTube channel perks. Yeah. I'm not only the president, I'm also a client. Yeah. That was so funny, man. Hair club for men or something, right? And what's that other super chat dwindling around here that I know I'm missing is ladies, which is my ladies, which tends to have some movement. You know, we'll take a look at ladies on Mexi, Milady meme coin. And we'll look at everything here and just open it up and see what we see happening for ladies, USDT. All right. Now, it had hype and then it didn't, right? And you got to sell these things the second you get excited about them and get out. For me, meme coins are in and out, not long-term holds. You know, every once in a while we see something that should kind of pan out and we'll see what happens. You give it 2 or 3 months at least, like that new loyal coin that I'm in. I'll give it a couple months before I completely give up on the idea. You know, we'll see what happens. Ladies got banged out. I'll be honest. It's a very ugly chart. Like, I wouldn't touch ladies till it gets back above that 4-1, and you could still make massive gains. Right now, anything buying ladies right now is very, very, very high risk, in my humble opinion. There's no guarantees it's ever going back to its all-time high. The hype could just completely die down. The RSI looks absolutely horrible. The stochastics don't look too good. To me, it's got, you know, you could almost say it should have a nice bearish divergence, but it barely has any, which is interesting. I almost feel like it was in this flag and it's attempting to retest back to the downside. I could see more downside for this thing. I'd be careful trying to buy meme coins at the bottom. To me, that's not my way to make money. You buy meme coins when they first come out, when you're one of the first people that know about them in the first few days. Then you sell off when the hype comes, and then you walk away, in my humble opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's how you play a meme coin. All right, that's just the general idea of how a meme is played. All right. It does have slight divergence, really, but like, I would not touch this until it breaks back above here and at least bounces. I talk about this as gum on the street. Like, I don't like to chew gum off the street. Like, that's gum on the street, man. That's like the lowest it's ever been, and it's a meme coin. So I would be very, very careful with my ladies, and I wouldn't be dreaming for more, you know. Well, the stream conveys to me I better get in the Discord and give headaches daily with my mad charts. We can't wait to see you, man, in the Discord posting charts all day long. All right. I'm sitting here crying with you saying, man, don't cry, man. Don't cry. I'm not crying. You can't cry, man. We can't cry. We got to stay strong, my brother. Shout out to Dow Jones. God bless you, brother. I don't want to see anyone crying on my behalf. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, I went weeks like being really strong. And the last 5 days when I went to go see my dad and I could see where he sat and I could see where he would turn on the light and I could see where he would say hi. And then my mom too, my mom just being really, really alone. Like that gets me a lot. Like my mom had someone to be with. You know, when she went upstairs and worked out, my dad was down there in case she fell or something. He could call, you know, hey, are you all right? They looked out for each other. They were there for each other, and they were there since my mom was 19. She knows nothing else. She's known my dad since they got married at 27 years old, I believe 1974. My mom was born in 1948. So I guess they were like 27 years old when they got married finally. A little late, but they were together for like 5 or 6 years before that, and they knew each other for a few years before that. So, yeah, my mom's like, I met your father when I was 19, you know. If you go to the free Discord, you can see the gains. Comes in waves of pain. It happens to me a lot. Just got to fight through the waves and keep pushing. Amen. 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 That's what my mom said. My mom says it hits her in waves so hard, and then it leaves, and then it comes back. It's definitely one of the hardest things I ever dealt with in my entire life. I think about my dad every minute of the day. Just not a minute. I'm talking about 100 times an hour. I have his hands. My hands are built just like his. So when I touch things, when I grab stuff, and he was always like, let me show you this and let me show you that. And he had this toughness to him. He was tough. And you know what gets me the most is I'm kind of a baby, right? I cry over my dad right now. He never once called me scared of his own death. You know, even days before he was passing out, he was telling my mom that he felt like he wanted to die. He really was. And he still called me upbeat, ready to go. He never wanted me to worry about him. He never wanted to be a worry. That's the one thing. I wish he had given himself a little more care, a little more time. He couldn't stand the doctors. He wanted nothing to do with checking in on the doctors. He just felt like they were going to kill him even faster. You know, I have my grandma's hands. When I miss her, I look at mine. Fa, fa, fo, hi. God bless you. Thank you for being here. I wish I knew what it felt like to be close to a father. I have my own mom, thankfully. Shout out to Jennifer Moffitt. See? You wish something that I have already. It's like I'm bragging when I talk about losing my dad and how much I loved him because at least I had a dad. At least I had a dad, you know? And then I realized how blessed I really was to feel this pain. Like this pain is a blessing. So if I didn't have this pain, it meant that I had someone that loved me so much. And if I didn't have this pain, then I would never have known the love. It's like light and darkness, everybody. You can't get the love without the pain. Anything you love in this life, if you love it truly, and we know nothing is guaranteed and nothing is forever, then put the two and two together. One day you're going to feel pain for the loss of that love. It's just the facts of life. It's the facts of life. And you can watch me going through it every single day, and that's kind of what this channel is about. It's about the struggle. It's about maintaining mental clarity. It's about staying strong no matter what happens. No matter what happens. And that brings me to the news, everybody. That brings me to the news. Shout out to everybody here on the live stream. My name is Crypto Sam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. My name is Samuel James Price. Shout out to everybody here on the live. My name is Samuel James Price, and I go over crypto every single day with my show, The Crypto Lifer Show. And I'm the Crypto Lifer. What do you think? People call me the Lifer. You can find me on all different channels, getting interviewed, talked with all different people, going back and forth. I bring you interviews. People interview me. We have a blast. I was just on Around the Blockchain yesterday, and I'm all around the blockchain. You know, I'm everywhere. So let's take a look at the news today and bring you what's going on. Now, I don't trade on news. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news, but there's also deals happening. There's things going on. And so there's things that we want to discuss and break down for you. We want to see what's happening with the debt ceiling, how it's affecting markets. So our first topic is futures jump after Senate passes debt deal. China plans new stimulus package. U.S. futures extended yesterday rally after the Senate passed a bill late on Thursday to raise the debt ceiling and prevent a U.S. default. With risk-on sentiment getting a boost following the sharpest rally in the Chinese stocks for 3 months, and Bloomberg reports that China is muling a new stimulus package to support the property market after existing policies failed to sustain a rebound in the ailing sector. So they're going to print money into, and they're also going to give real estate companies probably some tax incentives to buy up real estate. It's going to be inflated for a while. Most economies are getting improperly inflated, though. Even anything they do now to make it look better is last limit resorts that could really, really hold. But China's working on a new basket of measures to support the property market after existing policies failed to sustain a rebound in the ailing sector. South Korea's CPI cools down to a 9-month low, coming in at 3.3% year on year in May, down from up 3.7 in April, and below the streets 3.4% forecast. So, CPI, which is customer price index, right, coming down a little bit for South Korea. So around the world, a little bit of basically a break from the pain and rising prices. However, things are continuously going up. If you go to the store and you go to buy products, you know that inflation is still here strong. However, they kind of mimic or change it around. The idea is on June 13th, coming in about 12 days, June 14th, we're going to have a Fed meeting, and they're going to either raise or keep the interest rate the same. What do you believe is going to happen? It looks like they may muscle up one more half a percentage point, or maybe even a 0.25, just to kind of show face. But eventually, their time is dwindling. They can't print money, all right? They can't raise the debt ceiling. When they raise the debt ceiling, where is that money coming? They're going to have to print it. I've been saying this now for 3 months. So in my mind, I see a rally coming for Bitcoin somewhere in late June once all the numbers begin to settle. And this kind of gives us an idea, too, that there could be more of a move in risk-on assets like the Chinese stock market, Bitcoin, the S&P. So we're looking at this after they pass the Senate debt deal. Money has to be printed to fulfill that debt deal. And every time they do this, they're going to have to make another debt ceiling deal like closer. Like the last one was like 2 to 3 years ago. That's going to be like in a year and a half. And then eventually they're going to get to the point where they're going to have to print like $10 trillion overnight just to keep the market alive. And it's going to be ugly. Things are going to happen. We want to see Bitcoin shine out of that. That's why Bitcoin was created in the first place. So Credit Suisse Deutsche Bank backed Taurus deploys on Polygon blockchain. To see Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank and Polygon in the same sentence, that's a big deal. And I just showed you Polygon's chart. It looks pretty nice. So they don't really care about the devs leaving. Maybe they weren't the best devs. Maybe we got better devs. A lot of times that's just some FUD news. Maybe they put out that FUD news to get the prices cheaper for themselves because they were going into business a month after that. That's how this really works, right? The Swiss firm aims to allow financial institutions and corporates to issue tokenized assets on the Ethereum Layer 2 network. Oh my gosh. Taurus, which offers custody, tokenization, and trading of digital assets, has linked with the Ethereum scaling network Polygon, and the tokenization of real-world assets gained traction among financial institutions and large companies. The link up with Polygon includes support for staking and decentralized finance. The Geneva, Switzerland-based digital asset infrastructure provider, says on a Friday email. The firm raised $65 million in funding in a round led by Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank in February. Tokenization, the representation of an asset as units that can be traded in digital format, is seen as attracting mainstream financial institution towards the blockchain industry. Tyrone Lobin, head of JP Morgan's digital asset platform, Onyx, in April referred to tokenization as the killer app for traditional finance. Last November, JP Morgan executed live trades using tokenized versions of the yen and the Singapore dollar on Polygon. And in April, Bank of America published a report saying that the tokenized gold market has surpassed $1 billion the previous month. And that's just, they used to make ETFs and they used to bundle up, funds with another fund, but it takes a bunch of bank backing, more money, a lot more paperwork. Tokenized asset is quicker, cheaper, faster, and, even quicker to develop. And they can make even more money. They can have more people doing it and collect even more fees on the back end. So why wouldn't they want to tokenize assets? Of course they're going to do it. Eventually, no one's going to trade the stock market. They're going to trade some digital form of the stock market. Stock market also is going to be 24/7 within, I'd say, by 2025. That's my prediction. You're going to see a 24/7 stock market by 2025. Look out for that. That's a prediction by the lifer. And last but not least, Justin Sun and Huobi could have Hong Kong license in 6 to 12 months. He says other exchanges, including OKX, Gate.io, Bitget, and Bybit, might also apply for the license. Crypto exchange Huobi could receive a crypto trading license in Hong Kong as soon as the end of the year. It's funny. He was just being like, remember Letitia James was going after him in New York? He's sitting there smiling like, remember, everyone always acts like that's a big deal. But whenever the AG comes after you and stuff like that in New York, usually it's just a fine. It's a quick fine. Like everyone looks like it's like criminal, but whatever. He seems to be fine. Sitting on his millions or billions of dollars. Like he doesn't seem to care. He's getting interviewed all around the world. So it's just interesting how the FUD comes out and people freak out. Next thing you know, he's like making deals with Hong Kong like it doesn't matter. So the details of the regulation will come out in the next 18 months. For example, how to comply with customer withdrawals, anti-money laundering requirements, Sun said. In the next 18 months, we have a grace period so Huobi Hong Kong can operate in Hong Kong, take customers, and get our banking and serve our customers. The exchange recently moved to its headquarters from Singapore to Hong Kong in hopes of launching Huobi Hong Kong after the city said it's looking to become a virtual asset hub as soon as this summer. So this is going to take some time. But I believe in the next 6 to 7 months, we'll really start to kind of change the game, right? Milady's meme, Musk Milady meme opening up ordinals. Milady's NFT saw a brief pump after Elon Musk tweeted about them, and Binance is making it easier for people to buy Bitcoin NFTs. This week, ordinals moved further in the mainstream after leading cryptocurrencies exchange Binance announced it would soon add support to the Bitcoin-based non-fungible tokens in its marketplace. Meanwhile, Milady's, an eerily wide NFT project that has spawned a cult following, saw a brief spike in the floor price. So you have to remember, Milady's is also, as far as you can trade it as a meme coin, it's actually an NFT with the big eyes. That's kind of the whole idea behind it. And everybody, that is the news as we jump back into our regular scheduled program. All right. You're such a good son. They're lucky to have you. I hope so, man. I hope so. Toby showing what it means to be a lifer. Heart flip is a change of direction and bids and ask. Heat flip. Interesting. Great stream today. Toby, you're the man. Shout out to everybody here. I got to notice my electric is going to double next month. How can you get a notice that your electric's going to double in a month? That's kind of crazy. That's a little insane. Let's go over to Bitcoin one more time before we get on out of here and take a look at what's happening to Bitcoin. All right. We'll look at my Binance USDT chart. So we were watching this 7-minute flag that broke back to the upside. As you can believe it, Bitcoin's been eerily strange too. But now it's still overbought at the top of this channel. Honestly, I'm getting mixed signals for Bitcoin. The last couple of days, it was very, very hard to trade. I'll be honest with everybody here. I'm not going to act like it wasn't. I'm not going to act like, oh yeah, I'm perfect every single time. It's been tough, honestly. It did have to get above this previous support, which it did so far. That's okay. But it's still at this big resistance, this diagonal resistance that it keeps hitting. Pretty ugly for me. One time, I'm going to have to delete everything one more time and really just take a look at it. I'm attempting to give my subconscious mind a crack at this and see what's happening. Shoulder, kind of a head and a right shoulder. I've seen this play out as an inverted head and shoulder. It could happen. All right. At the end of the day, we get in this flat top and this upward trending idea here. We're getting a bit of an ascending triangle. When you come into the ascending triangle, a lot of times it can be bearish, right? So I'm not super excited. I'm not like, oh my God, this is amazing. We still have major resistance for Bitcoin at 27,361. That level has to be brought back to the upside. What we can say is that we definitely broke out of this falling wedge for sure. And we're attempting to retest the top of the wedge, which we just did. See that? That's a retest of the wedge. That's interesting. And you could see kind of a break back to the upside here. Not a lot of volume. It's kind of up and down volume getting spiked around. And we still have this major buy position down here at 26.6. Tells me that 26.6 is still looming. And we're still below a resistance bar. Granted, we got a little bit of a pump to the upside. And was there a bullish divergence? What was the meaning for this pump? I'm trying to see what happened here. Not really any really big divergence too. Nothing crazy going on for Bitcoin. Really messy, choppy price action in my humble opinion. And, a bit of an ascending triangle as I showed you here, right? With this uptrend on the bottom and this flat top. It's tough. I'll be honest. I look for and then the 7 minutes overbought and wants to crunch down on you. You got this funky wedge that broke out. But you're overbought now and showing the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not touching long until Bitcoin can come back above and retest the 27,350 area. Anything below that, I would stay short, right? And it's more likely we do come down and test the low area here at 26.4, maybe even 26,600 like we showed on the liquidity zone. But anything is possible. We did call that long yesterday and we got it within $80. So we'll go from there. But right now, Bitcoin is struggling. I have to be honest with you. And it doesn't have a lot of volume in the right way possible. I mean, the only good thing is it broke out of this resistance zone and it's retesting the area, but it's not amazing. It's not amazing right now. All right. So I showed you my level where I'll finally take Bitcoin seriously. However, I have gone over the fact that I'm bullish on the weekly as long as the weekly can stay above 20, stay above the 200 SMA on the weekly time frame. So I see this eventually coming back down to the bottom here. It just chopped, and eventually it's going to come and retest 25,008, somewhere in this high 25, low $26,000 area. Even if this eventually pushes to the upside, it's only a matter of time. And you're getting overbought on the 4 hour, and the daily's still pointing down on you. Remember, the daily still has bearish tones and could easily fall through to the downside. Is there a chance we're starting to make some symmetrical triangle for the daily, something like this? There's a chance, and we could go, but I still see sideways price action, and we still have to get back above 27,350 to remain bullish. So I'd watch this symmetrical triangle that's forming here on the low, on like the 15 or the 7-minute time frame. And for me, it's just more likely we head to the downside because we can't seem to get above resistance, wicked up, resistance. The more times you try to attempt to break resistance and don't, the more likely you are to roll over to the downside. So just like if you keep tapping, eventually you break. But that's downward pressure on price action. You got to get above the zone. The bulls have to show us something different here. We could gap up on the VRVP. That's the only thing that's kind of, in our favor slightly to 27.6. We go to 27.6. I would be looking for the retest of 27.350, 27.4 for my next long to the upside. And right now I wouldn't trade anything really. I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to get back above the zone. I'm not opening any trades. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just DCAing into coins while the market's not paying attention. So that's my update for Bitcoin. And if I see anything different, I'll keep you privy throughout the day. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you are already doing the right thing. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. May God bless every one of you. This is your life. You got to live it. No matter who left it, no matter what's going on, you got to make the best of it, no matter what. And that's my dad in my head right now. Sam, you got to make the best of it. I know I'm not here, but you got to make the best of it, Sam. You can't sit and cry. You can't sit and moan. I wouldn't want you to do that. I want you to keep it moving. So with the spirit of my father in me every single day, you got to keep on moving. And you can't have any hate in your heart. You got to live with love in your heart. All right? You got to live with love in your heart. Someone said Arbitrum is pumping to the upside. Makes me kind of interested to see what's happening there. Oh, wow. Nice little pump for Arbitrum back to 124. Remember, I first got into Arbitrum at 129, and I've been adding slowly. I did look at this tight channel, and we went up and down in it. And this is something I want to look at, like maybe on the daily chart and just take a look, right? I should hit control here when I do this. Again, like I'm still not like a huge fan of this market structure. It's just ugly. You could say, okay, we had this falling wedge. We broke out of it. We retested twice. So Arbitrum has a major resistance zone at 125 that it has to get back above. It's attempting to try to breach it right now. It's getting a little pump action. Almost a shoulder, head and shoulder, but it's ugly. Fugly ugly. Right? Did I just say fugly just now? I did. But that's just effing ugly. I didn't. Oops. But here's the deal. You got to get back above this zone and retest it. I'm always looking for the safer entry by looking at where we're having resistance. You don't even have to look at anything else really, but support and resistance here. It's interesting. One thing I have is remember these falling wedges where you break out and you break back in again? Kind of like that idea. But I don't know. This is messy price action, in my humble opinion. Let's look at our 7-minute time frame. It's attempting to make some type of, I guess, like ascending triangle. Very interesting, though. Like, I don't know, man. Price action is very strange the last couple of days. I have to give it to you. Nothing like fits in a nice little pocket, in my humble opinion. Again, I'm not showing my screen, right? I forget when I switch. So Arbitrum, I just see it's a mess. It's a mess. It looks horrible. Yeah, it may have gotten a pump up in the smaller time frame for the day. Like, not beautiful engulfing candle. That's a bullish engulfer. One of the biggest engulfing candles we've had in a while, all the way from 112 to 124 for Arbitrum. But just your resistance. Like, it's just a major resistance. A lot of sell there. So unless you get back above that, use that as a retest. I'm bullish on Arbitrum long term. And what I did is like, this could be the falling wedge that broke back in, but that's also a bit of a stretch in my humble opinion. Here's the bigger wedge that broke out, but I'm just not seeing it's just not amazing price action. It's really, really weird price action. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Everyone, thank you so much for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, we have a quick morning update. They're usually pretty fast, between 8 or 10 a.m., usually around 8 a.m. to get them done. And then you're going to see me tomorrow night at 8 p.m. For Bitcoin and the Saturday night stream. I love you all. Thank you for being here, and I'll catch you tomorrow on another beautiful live stream. Thank you for everyone that gifted. Thank you for everyone that sent in a super chat, everyone that jumped on in. May God bless each and every one of you. $38 in chat revenue, 57 new members, 383 likes. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.